Welcome back to the channel, and this is Adrian from Adrian's Avenue, where we help you make better decisions for a better life, because I truly believe that the decisions that you make on a daily basis will affect the life that you live. And today I want to let you all know that I've been looking for a car for a while. I've covered other videos on the cost of used cars and new cars back last year, and I did make a decision and I did purchase a car, and we will get further into that, but I'm excited about it, and it is a luxury car. So we're going to be talking about why would anybody even buy a luxury car, especially, you know me, I'm about the budget, I'm about benefits, and I'm about the Benjamins. So why would I spend money on a luxury car? Let's talk about it. Now, you know, I did tons of research on this. I have a vehicle currently. It's a Toyota truck, Toyota Tacoma. So I don't need a car. I have a vehicle that's perfectly fine. I get around in it. However, my vehicle is about 10 years old because I keep vehicles just that long. When I bought it, it was paid for, and I've driven it since then. So I've been covering basically insurance, gas, maintenance on the vehicle. So it's been very easy to upkeep this vehicle. And so why would I even be interested in another vehicle? And the one reason that I do, sometimes when I get dressed up, I want to be in luxury. I want to be in something nice, but I had to do my research. I also had a budget set for the amount that I was going to spend on this vehicle and nothing above that. Now, I did not go for a car. I went for an SUV. So if you're looking for a luxury vehicle or any kind of vehicle, I would say make sure you knew exactly what you want to get. I wanted something that was hybrid. So I'm not real 100% sold on electric vehicles yet, but because I knew these luxury cars, they use premium gas. My truck does not use premium gas. So in buying a luxury vehicle, it would actually cost me more in gas if I went straight gas. So I wanted to get something that was a hybrid, either a plug-in or just a rechargeable hybrid. And I narrowed it down to 3 vehicles, and I made a decision on one. Now, I'm going to go over some things that you want to consider if you're thinking about purchasing a vehicle, especially if it's a luxury vehicle, because these luxury vehicles, you all, are running anywhere from $70,000 up to over $100,000 for just a vehicle to get from A to B. Now, there were 3 questions that I had to ask myself before I even started looking or even considered these luxury vehicles. And the first question was, could I afford it? Is it within my budget? And not just affording the vehicle itself to drive it off the lot, but actually affording the maintenance on it, the insurance cost, the cost of gas, anything that's going to change from what I'm doing currently. And I am going to keep my truck. So I'm going to be insuring 2 vehicles as opposed to 1. So yes, I did do my research and get a quote on 2 vehicles, covering 2 vehicles as far as insurance is concerned, opposed to 1. So that's the maintenance on 2 vehicles, insurance on 2 vehicles, and gas in 2 vehicles. This is something that you want to make sure that you're okay, that you're comfortable with it, that it's not going to ruin your budget, it's not going to ruin your lifestyle, that it's something that you can actually afford. So it's more than just the price of the vehicle. There are other things that you have to consider. I considered this, and that was question number 1. Just as important is question number 2. Question number 2 is, did I really want this vehicle? Am I buying it for me, or am I buying it for someone else, such as people to look at me while I'm driving the vehicle? And I came to the conclusion that since I'm going to have to pay for it myself, I'm buying the vehicle for me. I'd like to ride in luxury when I get dressed up and that type of thing. So I'm buying it for me. I really don't care if somebody sees me in it or not. That's not who I'm buying it for. I'm paying the bill on it. I have to be satisfied with what I'm doing. And as I'm driving my truck, you know, over the streets and everything, I'm thinking it sure would be nice to listen to some nice music, just drive in a little bit of luxury. So this is something that I've been pondering over. This is not just a decision that I'm just up and making. I've been probably thinking about this and researching these cars for about a year now. And so it's time. They're not getting any cheaper. And so it's time for me to make that decision and pull the trigger and go ahead and get that vehicle. And the third question I would ask myself is it practical for my lifestyle? And it is. I'm a realtor and I'm a notary. I do things. I drive over. One of the things that I wanted the vehicle for and wanted to make sure it was a hybrid is I plan on using the battery power to go visit my parents. They don't live that far from me, and it's enough battery power to get over to their house and back to my home without using any gas. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted the vehicle to be hybrid. And it is lower where my mother can actually step into the vehicle. So that was another thing that I was looking for. But there were certain things that I needed in this vehicle to make it practical and to make it something that I really could use in my life and in my lifestyle at this point in time. The one thing that I was a little surprised about when I went in search of vehicles, and I only went to 4 of the luxury vehicle places to look. Did a lot of research online, and there's some vehicles that I just don't care for. Nothing against anybody who has these vehicles, but Tesla is one of the vehicles that fully electric. They do not have a hybrid, so I did not go to the Tesla store, even though the plant is located in Austin, and the Teslas right now are kind of on sale. But that was not a vehicle that I was interested in. I did go to the Lexus place. Of course, you know that I'm a Toyota Lexus fan big time. And they've released some newer vehicles that have the plug-in model as well as the other hybrid model. And so I went there. I went to the Porsche store because they have also a hybrid model. And I'm looking for an SUV. That's what I'm looking for. So I like the way the Porsche looks as far as the SUV. I know it's kind of a fast car, but they have nice colors. The seat colors are great. And so I went to visit the Porsche store and looked at the Porsche. And then I went to the Mercedes store and looked at the Mercedes. I looked at them last year as well as this year. They've changed a few things. They actually have a plug-in now that I was very interested in. So I talked to them about that. And then I went, the Porsche, the Lexus, and stopped by the BMW store because they do have electric vehicles and they have plug-ins. And I did not talk to a salesperson. I went on a Sunday afternoon and kind of looked at some of their cars. And I have mixed feelings about BMWs. Nothing wrong if you own a BMW, but I just have mixed feelings from some comments that some other friends have given me. Oh, and I did go to the Range Rover store. Let me not forget them. When I read about the Range Rover and the problems that they're still having with reliability issues, I called there because I was going to go by and actually see the Range Rover. And the salesperson that I talked to, I asked him specifically about the issues that they were having. He could not answer my question. He said I would need to direct you to the maintenance area to answer that question. I was just asking about the reliability issues. For it to be such a luxury, expensive car, why haven't they solved the reliability issues? Why am I still reading about the trouble that people have with their Range Rovers? Now, not everyone may have trouble with the Range Rover, but I wanted him to specifically answer this question because I do like the way the Range Rover looks. Complete luxury inside. It's a fantastic looking vehicle, but I need reliability. Number one. And so he wasn't able to answer that. So that kind of marked that off my list. I am asking you to hit that like button and that subscribe button so that you can stay up to date on the latest information as it becomes available to you. And maybe sometime in the future, I may actually show you guys the car that I purchased. So hit that like button and that subscribe button. I haven't bought a new car in a while, and I was a little shocked when the car salesman, they don't run out after you or anything. They're very relaxed. They sit in their chair, and once you decide you want to come in and talk to them, or you go to the front desk and ask for somebody, then they will come and talk to you. As I take my truck into the Toyota dealer, there are guys just like vultures outside waiting for someone to come in so that they can speak with a person wanting to buy a car for them. So I was a little taken back that they weren't really interested in the clients as I thought they should be. The thing with some of these products that they have, such as the hybrid models, there are hybrids that you don't plug in, but as you're braking, the battery is recharging, right? And so you have that type of model. Then you have the plug-in model where you actually plug it in and get it juiced up from, get the batteries juiced up from plugging it into the electricity. And so you have the different kinds of cars like that. And the SUVs are somewhat sought after. Some of these places did not have the actual vehicle on the lot where you can drive them. Most of the places you had to order the vehicle. As a matter of fact, I had to order mine, and there is a waiting list as far as how long it's going to take to come in, anywhere from 2 to 4 months, depending on if they're already building one or not. Most of these vehicles, since they are luxury and you're getting them new, you can pick the color and you can pick what accessories that you want on there, and they will build them for you. Some of these dealerships, they build a standard car, so there's some things you cannot change. You can't just pick whatever seat color that you want, or if it's leather, or if it's some other kind of synthetic leather type of material. And then some of them, you know, as you go up to like limited edition, you have things added on, and some of them you cannot change. Since it was going to be a luxury vehicle for me, I wanted as many choices as I possibly could get on the vehicle. And so I went and talked to several places. I've noticed at several of these places, I'm not going to specify which ones, when you sit in the car, it feels good. But when you start looking around and touching things, some of the stuff that you thought was wood is actually plastic. And so this is saving, I guess, on the cost of some of this. And you have to check with the salesperson that if the seat that you're sitting in is really leather or if it's something else, because it all feels good and most of it will breathe. So it feels great, but check on the durability of that. Some of these vehicles had suede in the seats. I do not like suede seats because I just don't think that they're going to wear very well. But with some of them, it was an option. With some, there was no option. And so there was a lot to talk about, a lot to think about. And so it took me a while to land on something. Also, I was looking for something within my budget, because knowing me, if you've been on the channel for a while, that I had the idea of paying cash for whatever vehicle that I was going to buy. It's been 10 years since I bought a vehicle. So I've had 10 years, you all, to save up for my next car, right? Or my next vehicle. And so I've been saving. And so I had a budget, because when I leave the lot with the vehicle, it's going to be mine. It's not going to blow my budget because I'm not going to be making monthly payments. This is going to be paid for. Now, the other question was, Adrian, well, why don't you just buy something used? Well, if you buy a used vehicle, you will save a little bit. But some of these, because they're so highly sought after, I looked at some of the used ones, and the price of the used ones were about the same as the price of a new one. And what I'm saying about the same, less than $1,000 difference than a new one. And so for me to get maybe what I wanted in the vehicle, as opposed to getting exactly what I wanted in the vehicle for $1,000 more, it just made sense to me to go in that direction. So that being said, I learned a ton on my search for my next vehicle, and I'm very, very excited. I want you all to drop in the chat. Let me know. I'll give you the three that I chose from: the Porsche, the Lexus, and the Mercedes. Those were the three that I narrowed it down. Drop in the chat which one you think I actually bought. And if I get enough comments in the chat, once it comes in, I don't have it here, but once it comes in, I will show you the vehicle that I bought. Now, one other thing that I want to say is with the deposits, because these vehicles are not on the lot, so they ask you for a deposit. The deposits ranged anywhere from $500 that you would write them a check over, and some of them would hold the check, some of them would go ahead and cash the check. So you'd write them a check anywhere from $500 to $2,500, depending on what kind of car it was and how in demand this car is. you'd write that check. And of course, the deposit, once it came in, if you didn't like the vehicle, you don't have to buy it. Someone else is waiting in line for that vehicle, and they do not sit on the lot a long time. You can't necessarily test drive the type, well, some of these hybrids, because they don't have them in stock. As people are ordering them, they're getting them in stock. They don't keep a hybrid just sitting on the floor. You know, you can drive a gas car maybe if they have one on the lot, but they're not ordering them in bulk like they used to and have cars on the lot. So, which means you can't make deals on these cars. Normally, whatever they say that you're going to pay for it, you sit down with the salesperson, they write up the ticket, and that's what you pay for it. And there's no negotiating this, negotiating that, because there's someone in line right behind you willing to pay top price for the vehicle. That's one thing that I did not like. I like to negotiate a little to get what I want, but I understood what was going on. And I like the fact that if the car comes in and I drive it and don't like it, I don't have to buy it. So they'll give me my money back and they'll keep the car. I think I'm going to like it though. I really do think I'm going to like it. I'm waiting for it and I think we're going to like it. So with that being said, yes, I bought a car. I bought a luxury vehicle. It's going to be paid for when I drive it off the lot. Let me know what you think I purchased. Which of the three vehicles do you think I purchased? Now, you know that I really love Toyota and Lexus, right? Is pretty much my number one top of the list choice. However, the Porsche was very impressive and the Mercedes was very impressive too. So which one did I buy? Which one really would fit my lifestyle that I got excited about? The more I heard about it, the more I read about it. Drop it in chat. Let me know what you think. And I will maybe have a reveal a little later on when it comes in.